I've had a haircut since then. I'm just going to, do I have to stand right here? Kind of okay. I'll stand here. Cool, anyway. Sorry, on the notes. So, thank you for having me. Who's heard of We Smell the Rain before? Oh, thank God, there's a few of you. Okay, well, you'll know about it by the end of tonight, which is a good thing. We're only 8 months old, so it's okay. You're right that you haven't heard about us. I will scroll through some pictures. This is us. I'll scroll through some pictures first so you'll get a bit of an idea of what we do for now. But basically we create crafted greenery for the homes of city dwellers because people are feeling the need to connect back to nature. I have no idea why, but they are. So you can have a look. I'll scroll through it first and then we can talk about it. I didn't make that plant, it grew. So what this particular plant that you're looking at now it's called a kokedama, and I did not invent it. It's actually it's a plant, and the art form is called kokedama, and it's a Japanese traditional art form that came from the concept. Well, came because bonsai trees used to be really expensive back in the day. They were only for the rich and wealthy, and of course everybody wants what the rich have. So they created this. The Japanese, smart fuckers, and with style, they created this thing called a kokedama, which is, the nickname is a poor man's bonsai. And believe it or not, they found a way, which I have taken on board as well, how to stunt the growth of plants. So that's what these are. Oh, where'd that go? Oh, sorry, wrong way.
Yeah, wrong way.
Oh, yep. So yeah, what these are is we create the plant out of, well, we don't make the plant is grown. We buy the plant at a certain size, and then we make this ball, which is 3 different soil types and 2 different mosses, and we wrap the roots in a way that it stunts the growth of the plant, and then we make a little planet and we tie it all up nicely so it looks like this, which looks like it's easy, but it takes a long time. They take around 45 minutes to make, and that's us at a fast pace, and we're pretty experienced. And then, anyway, coming back to the whole idea of the bonsai tree, they made this little thing called a kokedama because it was more affordable. And I found the art through a friend sending me a picture a few years ago, and started just making them in my house because I just like to do this sort of thing. And yeah, got bored at work one day and drew this little triangle. Can you see it? It's kind of, oh yeah, and sorry about the saturated pictures, it's the screen. Yeah, they're a bit more desaturated. So yeah, and I drew this little shape and thought that's pretty fucking cool actually. I'll try and make it, and so I did. And anyway, that got parked, that whole concept. Here we go. So yeah, basically, to cut a long story short, oh. Oh.
Just
No.
press the left button.
Yeah, but I am.
No,
Oh shit.
you're pressing the right button.
No, but it's going, I think it is either way. Try.
So this is left.
Yeah.
So you have to go back now, right?
But it's going,
What do you do?
oh, okay,
Yep.
yeah. It's
We're going through the
yeah, I think it's gone. I think it's like not working my magic finger. Okay, I'll just go back to, yeah.
So just left button.
Anyway, so okay, I won't do that. But so basically, what we do at We Smell the Rain is we create nice ways to have, well, cool, interesting ways to have plants in your home that is not a typical plant, basically. See more plants as a creative object rather than just a plant in a pot. Anyway, bit about my background. Why did I get into this? My weird accent is I'm a Kiwi. I named myself a South African Kiwi. I immigrated to New Zealand. I was born in South Africa, immigrated to New Zealand when I should stand here. Sorry. When I was 15, and lived all around the world in Canada, London, and now here for 2.5 years. Moved to Holland for love. Dutchman, and it's that old story. And my background is creative direction and design, and specializing in branding. So it was fun to finally brand my own brand, which was not my freelancing brand. I've worked as a creative director in New Zealand at one of the biggest fashion high street women's retail stores, and a design director at Harrods, and an art director and designer at G-Star, until I got completely sick of working for big brands and was like, I need to start something for myself. And being totally bored, I shouldn't say that, but I was. Totally bored and unstimulated, and sort of reaching a level, I'm sure a lot of people feel this as well, where you just like, I need to learn something more, but you can't. And I just kind of resorted back to researching geeky shit about plants. Maybe because I was born in South Africa and lived next to a bush, and have been having monkeys in my life, stealing bananas from our garden and or the kitchen, and snakes and shit. And New Zealand, living in Auckland City, we're surrounded by 48 volcanoes. Not all of them are active. But yeah, nature's been at my doorstep for my whole life. And then 4.5 years of living in Europe, obviously it's more like a concrete jungle, which is really cool. But I started looking up stuff about weird plants and how to make cool constructions with plants. I got really into biomimicry and aquaponic systems and hydroponic systems, which is, I'm not sure if you know, but how to grow plants and vegetables and things in different levels with water pumps, and you can have fish in the bottom and the fish shit, and then the nutrients go up, and then they filter down through all the different layers, and then you can from the wastage of the plants that you eat, your vegetables, you can put them in a compost bin and then make worms from the compost, and then you feed it back to the fish, and it's this like cool little cycle of life. And I really got into this whole side and the nerdiness of it, and I loved it. But obviously I really like pretty stuff as well, so I was like, how can you make that nerdy stuff pretty, you know? So I started actually thinking of a bigger business plan, and at this time I'd already quit my job and started freelancing again, and then went on a course at IdeaFix. And at this time I'd actually found the concept, and at IdeaFix I realized that the biggest hurdle stopping me from doing anything was myself. And I'm sure a lot of you know that it's starting is the hardest thing, but actually getting over your own fears is the hardest. So I did a business plan after trying to not do one for ages, and then realized that it was far too expensive to, or I couldn't afford and didn't want to go and talk to a bank or anything to get this big business plan sorted until I'd worked out if I wanted to be in the plant business, because I'd been in the fashion business for quite a long time. And I thought, what could I do with my own money? And then I remembered this kokedama that a friend had sent me, and I drew this little sketch, and I'd drawn this little market stall, and thought, that's such a good idea, I'll do this market with the kokedamas, and I parked it. And then I thought, actually I should just do the market, just try it out, see if you even like it. And I started, and that was the hardest thing. A friend had contacted the local goods market and said, you should get her to have a stall or something, and they contacted me, and I was like, they don't even know what I'm selling, I don't even know what I'm selling. And so I paid for it, even though I didn't have a product, and I hadn't actually made one at this level at all. And then I told my boyfriend, and he wrote on Facebook and said, Kim's having a market. And I was like, fuck, now I really got to start. And so I started. I designed a brand. This was all in 4 weeks. I designed a brand, and okay, I just realized I forgot something. Can we hold and I pause? Okay. Side note. I have 3 logos. It's a long story. That's another talk. But obviously it's a difficult name. So this is the logo I wanted, but I made the logo before because it's easier to understand because the name is a little bit interesting. And the idea of this logo is behind the name is "We smell the rain," right? And it makes you think, what does it mean? It feels. Everyone says everyone says something different, but the name is "We smell the trend coming," and we smell the trend coming for people to want to connect back with nature, be more green. Whoops. Okay, we'll just leave it. Yeah. So.
It's like an animal.
It's everybody's faces. Anyway. So yeah, that's the "We smell the rain, we smell the trend coming," and the "we" is another big part about what I believe in the company that I want to create, and that's that everyone that is involved in getting this happening and to the point it's at and to the point that it's going to be at one day, and all the other designers that are thinking and product designers that are thinking in the same way of creating these cool ways to have greenery in your home, in like city homes that are small, so smelling that sort of trend coming. And yeah, there's a lot of, I really don't believe in the I believe in the team, and so that's what the "we" is about. The insect, on the other hand, is a cool story there actually. I was trying to think, like, what animals there must be some animals or insects that smell the rain. It must be, you know. And then I remembered, it was so obvious, but when I was a kid, my favorite insect is the flying ant. And it's an ant that's about this big, and it's got huge wings, and it hides under the ground for 3 months. This is in South Africa. I know it's in Australia as well. Anyway, it hides under the ground for 3 months, and a few hours, like 3 or 4 hours before a huge rainstorm it comes, which is every few months. They say every few months, but I think it's quite rare. Anyway, whatever. They come out of the ground and they go fucking crazy. There's thousands of them, and they're everywhere. They're flying everywhere, and it creates complete chaos. People are running home. They're like shutting their windows because they fly to any light. So if you don't shut your windows, oh, hi. If you don't shut your windows, they fly in and they're going crazy. They've actually had to shut down national cricket games because they can't even play because there's so many ants flying everywhere. And I love the chaos always as a kid that it creates, and that's kind of what the rain creates as well, right? When it's going to rain, people are like, ah, shit, and they're running out. Maybe in Amsterdam everyone goes through it, but in London they're certainly running away. So yeah, that was when I realised that cool connection. I was kind of like, shit, this is meant to be, you know. It was my favourite little insect in South Africa all those years ago, and here I'm calling the brand "We Smell the Rain," like, boom. So that was that. Oh gosh, we're on the right track. Anyway, let's check we've got on the right stage. Yeah, so back to where I was. So we started the brand. It was I had 4 weeks. I branded the company, named it, and then also started designing stands. Everything you saw in those first few pictures is what I did in the first 4 weeks, which is kind of crazy reflecting, but it was a bit full on those 4 weeks, but fun. And so also did the photo shoot, which does look better off the screen, but all the hands and stuff, a friend just came round and I shot it on my iPhone and thought, then afterwards realised, oh, that's actually the photography, even though I planned to have better photography. And got the market going, and we had the market, and it was great. That's me at the market. And the market was a real success. We didn't sell out, but we sold out 2 weeks later. And after that, I went on a month's holiday to the States. This is not in the States, but to America. And I was camping for 3 weeks in a camper van and hiking all the national parks and stuff. And I got a call. Sorry, I didn't get a call. I sneakily checked my phone while in Bryce Canyon, and got an email from Urban Outfitters saying they wanted to stock our plants in America. And I was like, holy shit, okay, this is pretty cool. So I thought that I'd take that as my cue, and yeah, I guess we're going to start this thing. So I found an office space, not in the windmill, but just right in the door next door, and found an office space, and got a friend to, we went to not Bunnings, that's in New Zealand, went to one of the shops in the area and got some wood, and I hacked up an office together and a production line and a packaging department. Found a lot of stuff on the street and we made 3 areas in our office, and it started, and yeah, it's been a fun ride. It's been really great. It's some of the other products. Found that table in the trash. And then I thought, okay, now I'm making all the plants by myself, and I have an office space, a packaging department, and a shop, an online shop. And by the way, we've got a lot of stockists, like Hotspot had contacted us, and a couple of other retailers. So I had to make the plants for them, obviously. And then I thought, who's going to help me make the plants? Because this is a lot of work. They take around 45 minutes for one plant. And then friends and volunteers and people just started coming all out of the woods, man. They just came. Yeah, it was pretty awesome. It was summer when I started, so we had a great time outside with music and making the plants. And for instance, the guy in the picture, that's Quentin. He bought a plant online, came and picked it up from the office, and then was there looking around. He goes, "Can I come and work here?" And I was like, "What?" And then I said, "Well, we only take volunteers." So he came and volunteered for a while, and he's a doctor. He was in between jobs, and Laura as well was in between jobs. She's a doctor as well. And so yeah, we had like all these great people helping out and working, and we had a lot of people contacting us from different places, and like the gym, and then a restaurant, and all over the show. And we sort of took on a little bit too much in a way. We also took on a lot of markets. Oh, okay, we took on a lot of markets, but we also went into a lot of shops. And yeah, we did a lot of markets and a lot of shops, and it got really, really full on. We're making a lot of plants, and Restored is one of the only retail stores we contacted, actually, and it's like one of my favorite shops in Amsterdam. And yeah, they said, "Can you do a window for us?" So, and then I did not make my logo that big, by the way. Yeah, I asked for about 1/8 of the size, but yeah, it was actually raining that day, so people were like laughing as we were putting it up. So yeah, we went into Restored, and you've probably seen us in a lot of other boutiques around the Netherlands. And this is just some of our markets and some of our team. Again, everybody is, we don't get paid. The company's not making enough money to pay us yet. So that's this month, working that out. And I found through being in some restaurants and cafes and things, we found some amazing volunteers. We have Cyrus here tonight, and he was actually he started as an intern, and now he's like my right-hand guy, running an online shop and retail stores and things. Yeah, he's also a kokedama expert. And yeah, so that's been fun. Okay, hang on. Yeah, gotta get out of here. Okay, anyway, so to cut a long story short, what's next? Oh yeah. The main thing, aside from all of this, is that I want to build a company that is awesome to work at. That's pretty much my main goal, aside from designing awesome products and working with nice stuff from the trash. No, it's not all from the trash. But we do find a lot of good stuff, like really nice marble, which people are wanting to pay a fortune for, and I'm like hanging on to my trash marble. But yeah, I want to build a company that's a great place to work, and people feel respected, and they want to come to work, and they're happy to come to work, and I wouldn't even call it work. I'd say it's something that they want to be a part of and help build. I hate that whole thing of I have to go to work, you know. But I know it's a really rare thing to find a company that has this really great attitude amongst your peers, and there's no competition or fear of losing your job. and everyone that works with us comes out of their own will. We don't have any starting time, and we don't have any end time either. And I pay them when I can, and we always have sit down and have a healthy lunch together, that's the one thing the company does pay for. It's going really well, and the mindset is great. So that's, to me, if it becomes a place where people want to be a part of and work with because they like working with us because of the whole mindset of our brand, then in my mind we're winning. Last words. Yeah, maybe I'll just leave it there. But there's a lot of words.
And one shop here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh my God. Oh, yeah. So, actually, in this very room you're sitting in, we do workshops in this room, and talking about that whole mindfulness feeling is, and that's also a thing why we've got a lot of volunteers coming back many times, is because it is a real therapeutic thing making these plants. And so we hold workshops in here. The next one is next Saturday. Actually, we still have some spots left, and every 2 months we hold them. And it's amazing watching people, because it looks all nice and stylish, right? And they're standing there like, oh yes, our nice designer workshop. We're gonna make a kokedama, awesome. And then it's not this one, but it's one of them. And then they're standing there and I go, right, okay, put your hands in the mud, let's make some mud balls. And then they're like, oh, and no one wants to do it. But by the end of it, the room's covered in mud. Everybody's covered in mud. We have aprons, don't worry. And afterwards, the feedback is always, it was really fulfilling and relaxing, and they feel, like they've had a really mindfulness experience. And so I really like seeing that, actually getting your hands stuck in and gardening and doing stuff with nature, which is we're actually a part of that cycle of life thing. It feels really good, and you can't really explain why. It's the same thing if you think about, you have a plant in your house, right? Why do you have a plant in your house? It's something from it that makes you feel good. And so we are all connected. Okay, right, I will end with one line. It's a good line. Okay. Well, I think it is. I don't feel like I'm building a brand for my own fulfillment. I feel like I've planted a seed with a bigger vision, and that seed will only grow into the vision with like-minded people that water it along the way.